29, 2025. This is Lyndon Tugby anchoring the segment of news presentation. Coming up in the headlines, Bouaka tells diaspora deep challenges inherited, but transformation will come with unity and patience. Senate Pro Tempore Kanga Lawrence unveiled bold Diaspora Engagement Act at Washington Conference. Former Representative Kai-Fi urges economic reform to tackle Liberia's inflation crisis. Unity Party chairperson defends Bouaka leadership, says citizen area marked by corruption and failure and away from Liberia. Hamas denied receiving new Gaza ceasefire proposal ahead of Trump Netanyahu meeting. These plus many more development are all packaged. We're taking a short break. Upon our return, we bring you our news bulletin. Welcome back, thanks for joining us on this presentation. Musa Sherry with our news bulletin. Good afternoon, Musa.
Good afternoon. President Joseph Bouaka has addressed Liberians in the diaspora, saying his administration inherited deep-rooted national challenges that cannot be solved overnight. He made the remark at the first Liberian Annual Diaspora Conference in Washington, D.C. President Bouaka noted that multiple institutions were underperforming, the economy was weakening, and the national security framework had deteriorated significantly before his Unity Party-led government took office. Despite these challenges, he expressed confidence that the administration can reverse the nation's course through deliberate actions and strong commitment to transformational resolve. He urged diaspora Liberians to remain supportive, emphasizing that meaningful change requires times, clear strategies, and unity across all sectors of society. Liberia Senate Pro Tem Yomble Kanga Lawrence has pledged sweeping reforms to empower the diaspora with voting rights, public office eligibility, and greater economic influence. Speaking at the 2025 Liberia Diaspora Annual Conference in Washington, she said the Senate is ready for actions, not promises, on long-standing diaspora concerns. Senator Kanga Lawrence outlined a proposed Diaspora Engagement Act, which includes support for dual citizenship, advisory councils, tax incentives, transparent investment channels, and stronger oversight of ministries serving Liberians abroad. She also stressed accountability, skills exchange, and land protection for returning citizens, while announcing the creation of a Senate-led diaspora caucus to ensure sustained legislative engagement. The speech, warmly received, highlighted the diaspora $300 million contribution to Liberia's economy, signaling what she called a historic shift from token gesture to genuine national integrations and development partnership. Former Bon County District 5 Representative Edward Kafia has called for urgent economic reforms to tackle Liberia's rising inflation. Kafia urged legislators to hold the finance minister accountable, ensuring that investment target productive sectors that stimulate growth and reduce inflation nationwide. He attributed high inflation to Liberia's over-reliance on import, which negatively affects the trade balance and undermines efforts to build a self-reliant economy. Kafia highlighted rice, petroleum, and flour as major imports, costing the country over $200 million annually, depleting resources and weakening Liberia's financial position. He recommended policies promoting import substitutions and local job creation as sustainable strategies to curb inflation, boost productivity, and achieve long-term economic stability. Unity Party chairperson Lothar Tapper says flourishing the CDC from power was a patriotic detail while predicting brighter days ahead. He hailed Unity partisans for their resilience and assured that President Joseph Bouaka and the party have not forgotten their efforts. Tapper contrasted a past and present leadership, citing the $16 billion missing saga and a motion built by the former president versus Bouaka at openings of Eastern Road. He noted that mature governance improves the country, pointing to reduced drug trafficking and efforts to redeem young people from addiction. Tapet added that while some former ministers face sanctions for corruption under Bouakai leadership, anyone attempting wrongdoing is promptly disciplined. The Liberia National Police has announced the first group of qualified beneficiaries of the LNP Cotterton University Scholarship Program. The recipients include LNP officers, civilian staff, and members of the Liberia National Fire Service. In a press release, the LNP described education as a powerful tool for transforming policing, and public safety. The statement emphasized that fostering learning and personal development will help cultivate a new generation of security professionals whose knowledge and integrity will strengthen the service to the nation. The LNP hailed the initiative as a significant step in rebuilding a security sector with bright and capable mind, while education and service go hand in hand. Lofa County District 1 Representative Thomas Falla says he is stepping away from party politics and has pledged to support the government's agenda. Representative Falla described himself as an objective and independent political thinker, noting that this does not prevent him from backing leaders or policy he believes in. He expressed support for President Joseph Boakai's agenda and policy, stressing that his commitment goes beyond words to include practical steps towards implementation. Highlighting more than 20 years of experience in national governance, Representative Falla said he is not just an ordinary lawmaker. He recalled serving both in oppositions and in ruling positions, adding that those experiences have shaped him into a more balanced and independent political actor. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says it remains committed to engaging Liberians abroad in support of national development. Over the weekend, Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo Yanti addressed the Liberian Diaspora Annual Conference in Washington, D.C., where she called for unity, reconciliation, and shared prosperity. Minister Yanti announced a partnership with the Kingdom of Morocco to establish a diaspora database to track the skills, locations, and contributions of Liberians worldwide. She also highlighted Liberia historic elections as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for the first time. The foreign minister urged Liberians abroad to work with the government to build a stronger nation for current and future generations. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency says it is committed to educating students on the dangers of drugs and substance abuse through its ongoing awareness program. Over the weekend, the LDA Prevention and Community Outreach Session conducted a school-based sessions at Fort Maiden Christian Academy in the Oro community, aimed at sensitizing students on the harmful effects of drugs. Chief of Prevention Grace Moba and her team cautioned that substances such as kush, tramadol, and marijuana not only damage physical and mental health, but also hinder academic performance and future opportunities. The outreach officers encourage students to make positive life choices, remain focused on their studies, and serve as ambassadors against drugs abuse in their schools and communities. The agency stressed that the initiative is part of its nationwide Say No to Drugs campaign designed to strengthen awareness and resilience against substance abuse across Liberia. The Civil Service Agency says its view with grave concerns report of a planned nationwide ghost load by faculty members of public universities and colleges. CSA Director General Josiah Jokat has urged all faculty to remain calm, exercise restraint, and continue teaching without interruption. He reminded civil servants that grievances must be addressed through the proud redress channeled outlined in the CSA Human Resource Policies Manual and standing orders. The agency further warned that any instructor or professors who abandons duty or fails to perform responsibility will face administrative actions under civil service regulations. The CSA emphasized that the continuity of academic activity is essential and called for the cooperation of all public universities and colleges. The Ministry of Health says it is expanding the West African Health Organization's health centers in Tiwa District, Grand Cape County, to improve healthcare access in the region. The ministry noted that along with WAHUD, it conducted a joint site supervisions on Sunday to assess progress on the project. The expansion will include a new maternal and child health unit with an operating theater, trash area to waste management system, generator, and 25 kV solar system. Veteran Quasars and education advocate Ramsey Soumenier has earned a professional certificate in monitoring and evaluation for Gonet Academy, marking another milestone in his academic journey. Chief Justice Yamik Bese has dismissed allegations of nepotism defending his son's recent judiciary appointment. Critics questioned the ethics, but Bese demanded proof of any law or rule violated. He challenged the National Association of Trial Judges to cite constitutional, statutory, or administrative provisions preventing a Chief Justice from recommending even a relative for judiciary service. Bese described his son's appointment as merit-based, arguing that public service capability, not family ties, justify the recommendation. Justice Bese argued that until NTAJL present clear legal or ethical violations, these accusations remain speculative, stressing the judiciary must be guided by laws, not politics. The controversy has fueled debate within legal circles. Some support Bese's reliance on legality, while others stress the need to safeguard the judiciary from even the appearance of impropriety. The Ministry of Health and partners have announced the continuations of the nationwide malaria vaccinations campaign targeting children between 5 months and 2 years old. The initiative, following earlier exercise in 6 counties, aimed to curb the alarming spread of malaria among young children. Liberia's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Ketchin Cooper, said each child will receive 4 doses, stressing the vaccine is safe and free. She also urged parents to ensure children sleep under mosquito nets even after vaccinations and reminded mothers to always carry their children's vaccine cards. According to the ministry, once completed, the upgraded facility will provide comprehensive maternal and newborn health service for Liberians as well as cross-border communities in Sierra Leone, Guinea, and other ECOWAS countries. The ministry emphasized that the project reflects its commitment to strengthening regional health systems and improving outcomes for mothers and children.
A reminder that you are listening to Fuka News World, 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, holding our one war. A recap of major stories we are following closely on our news presentation. Boycott tells diaspora deep challenges inherited, but transformation will come with unity and patience. Senate Pro Tempore Kanga Lawrence unveiled bold Diaspora Engagement Act at Washington Conference. Former Representative Kafai urges economic reform to tackle Liberia's inflation crisis. Unity Party chaired Lute Tapet defends Boycott leadership says CDC area marked by corruptions and failure in the way from Liberia. Hamas denies receiving new Gaza ceasefire proposal ahead of Trump Netanyahu meeting. Let's take a short break. Upon our return, we bring you the actual voices of those making the news. Welcome back, Spori, joining us on this presentation. Former President George Weah says divine timing and his wife advice may have spurred their family from tragedy. Speaking at the Focus Family Fellowship Church on Sunday, Mr. Weah revealed that after returning to the country, his wife suggested he spend the night at his rehab residence instead of the 9th Street home in Single. He disclosed that around midnight he received a shocking call that the 9th Street home was on fire. We expressed gratitude, saying, "Glory be to God."
We got here, the West said, "Today you and I are sleeping in rehab, whether athletic or not." And I agree with her. They say you don't need to say anywhere you want to see, you want to go, I'll follow you. I wanted to know. She took and I followed. And my son with me at 12, up to 12 midnight, someone called me at my house burning on that street. When I say to God, glory be to God, They would have been worse. That is sleeping.
Former President George Weah is speaking at his Fopiclon Family Fellowship Church on Sunday. Former Bond County District 5 lawmaker Edward Kaffa is urging lawmakers to pressure the finance minister to prioritize targeted investment in Liberia's rising inflation. Kaffa blames hard inflation and excessive input, particularly rise in petroleum, which costs the country over $2 million and worsen the national trade imbalance. He recommends boosting local production, substituting imported inputs, and creating jobs as sustainable solution to strengthen Liberia's economy and reduce inflation.
I think they are trying, they are doing their best. The only thing they need to do is to actually hold the finance minister accountable, to make sure that he invests in the economy and spend the money in sectors that will spur growth and reduce our inflation, because there's too much inflation because we are not producing more. So your trade balance is actually negative, meaning you're spending more outside than the one that comes in. The amount that comes in is less than the amount you spend. Take that for West, for example, you spend what, 200 million on, right? How many income do you think that will give you what, 200 million? Petroleum, and you name them, flour, this one. So import substitution should be a strategy to lower inflation from a double digit to a single, and that could be in the form of local job creation, but not at the expense of quality. Like we're talking about people saying that steel oil and all that. The steel oil here is substandard. They are not, the quantity and quality does not match. And
the voice of former Bond County District 5 Representative Edward Kaffa speaking on Liberia's inflation challenge. Liberia's Senate Pro Tempore Yumli Kanga Lawrence has announced reform to grant diasporial citizen voting right, eligibility for public office, and greater influence in national economic and decision policy. She emphasized the Liberian diaspora is more than the source of remittancy. It is a reservoir of talent, investment, advocacy, and patriotic commitment. Speaking at the 2025 Diaspora Conference, Kanga Lawrence highlighted a shift from symbolic gesture to actionable policy, recognizing global Liberians as key partners to Liberia's development.
Senate champion a comprehensive diaspora engagement agenda rooted in appropriate legislation, oversight, and national unity. This includes passing the Diaspora Engagement Act to institutionalize dual citizenship rights, establish a Diaspora Advisory Council, supporting fiscal incentives that will remove barriers to diaspora-led investments, including tax reforms, ensuring accountability through public hearings, budgetary provisions, and performance audits of diaspora funding, advancing education and skills transfer for legislative university collaborations, and incentivizing the return of diaspora professionals, strengthening legal protections for returning diaspora Liberians, especially on land rights, establishing a Senate-led diaspora affairs caucus, reviving constitutional and electoral reforms, clarifying the eligibility for public office, championing national unity and reconciliation by promoting inclusive dialogue.
That was Senate Pro Tempore Yumli Kanga Lawrence speaking at Liberia First Annual Diaspora Conference held in Washington, D.C. Lofa County District 1 Representative Thomas Fowler says he has stepped aside from party politics and is now supporting President Joseph Boakar's national agenda. Fowler described himself as an independent thinker, but emphasized that his neutrality does not stop him from backing government initiatives that benefit the Liberian people. With over 2 decades of national leadership, he pledged to turn words into action using his experience to help drive the government policies forward.
This is the right path. I'm going to support this movement. I'm going to support this regime. I'm going to support this government. And I'm not a party person for now. No, I'm not a party politics. I'm an independent and a champion free thinker. So notwithstanding being a champion, being a free thinker politically, it doesn't negate the fact that I have my right to support whatever I want to support. So I support His Excellency Joseph Boakai. I support his agenda. I support his government, his policy, and I'm going to help to drive it. And that's why I'm not just saying it, but I will get involved. That's why you see my involvement everywhere he goes. Mind you, I come with 20 plus years of experience in national governance. So Fala is not just an ordinary guy. I have managed, I tasted a level opposition for 12 years. I managed, I tasted a level ruling position, and now I don't know my position. I'm fitting.
Lofa County Representative and Deputy Speaker of the 55th House of Representatives Thomas Falade speaking. President Joseph Boakai told Liberians at the Diaspora Conference in Washington, D.C. that his government inherited serious challenges that cannot be faced overnight. He cited falling institutions, economic decline, and weakened security as a major obstacle requiring deliberate results-driven solution from a committed leadership team. Boakai called for diaspora support, assuring attendees that with unity, strategic action, and time, Liberia's path to recovery and sustainable development is both achievable and realistic.
Liberians, we have indeed come a long way, and if we are honest with ourselves, we inherited a country that was facing far more problems than we could resolve overnight. Institutions were operating below their optimal levels. The economy was faltering, security had broken down significantly, and the overall mood and the challenges we face as a country can be overcome when we are intentional in our resolve to reverse the past. By doing so, lyrics in the glorious land of liberty shall long be ours, will be real.
The voice of Liberia's President Joseph Boakai speaking to diaspora Liberians in Washington, D.C. The Ministry of Health partners have announced a continuation of the nationwide malaria vaccination campaign targeting children between 5 months to 2 years. Liberia's Medical Health Officer Catherine Cooper has been providing more to this development.
My name is Dr. Catherine Thomas Cooper. I'm the Chief Medical Officer of the government, and the partners last year started to give malaria vaccine in 6 counties in Liberia in the southeast. We are now ready to carry the vaccine to the remaining 9 counties. The malaria vaccine will be given to children from 5 months all the way up to 2 years. Our children will take the vaccine 4 different times to help reduce malaria from catching them fast and for them not to get sick with malaria. The vaccine is safe, available, and free. So let us carry our children to the clinic or the hospital for the malaria vaccine. We carry our children to the clinic or hospital. The doctor people will tell you more about the malaria vaccine. Even when your children taking the malaria vaccine, you must always make sure that they sleep under the mosquito net. Carry your 5-month-old children and your children less than 2 years old to the clinic or the hospital for malaria vaccine. The vaccine is safe, available, and free.
Liberia Chief Medical Officer Catherine Cooper speaking. A reminder that you are listening to Focal News World, 30 minutes of news presentations about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. A recap of major stories we are closely following on this newscast. Boakai tells diaspora deep challenges inherited, but transformation will come with unity and patience. Senator Pro Tempore Kanga Lawrence unveiled bold diaspora engagement ad at Washington Conference. Former Representative Kai Fight urges economic reform to tackle Liberia's inflation crisis. Unity Party Chair Luther Tappert defends Boakai's leadership, says CDC's area marked by corruption and failure. And away from Liberia, Hamas denied receiving new Gaza ceasefire proposal ahead of Trump-Netanyahu meeting. Let's take a short break. Upon our return, we bring you our international news. Welcome back, thanks for rejoining us. Musa Sharif zoom in with our international details.
Hamas has denied receiving any new proposal from mediators regarding the ceasefire in Gaza, the group said in a press statement on Sunday. Hamas said it was willing to consider any proposals presented by the mediators positively and responsibly in a manner that preserved the national rights of the Palestinian people. The group also says ceasefire negotiations have been stalled since Israel struck members of its leadership in Doha earlier in September. The statement comes amid report of new ceasefire proposal by the United States to end Israel war in Gaza.
This is how we come to the end of our newscast, but before leaving you, a recap of major stories we have been closely following. Boycott tells diaspora deep challenges inherited, but transformation will come with unity and patience. Senate Pro Tempore Kanga Lawrence unveiled bold diaspora engagement at Washington conference. Former Representative Kai-Fi urges urgent economic reform to tackle Liberia's inflation crisis. Unity Party Chairman Reverend Luther Tappet defends worker leadership, says citizen area marked by corruption and failure and away from home. Hamas denies receiving new Gaza ceasefire proposal ahead of Trump and Netanyahu meeting. Musa Sharif brought to you the news bulletin. Penham brought to controlled and coordinated all of our signs. On behalf of our entire news team, I present it. My name is Lyndon Tugba.